Back in my day, kids had respect. You said please and thank you. You cleared the table. And you referred to your platform characters based on Japanese folklore as Mr. None of this mystical ninja nonsense, not even if you tacked starring Goemon at the end as a kind of concession. No, you stood up straight, looked him in the eye with your chin up, and said, Mr. Goemon is the precursor to Konami's storied Ganbare Goemon franchise, rarely ever referred to as such on these shores. But the isometric view and vaguely RPG-like mechanics wouldn't come until after this arcade classic, which relies solely on hardcore action platforming and beating people senseless with a pipe. So, you're Mr. Goemon. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, and if you don't, we're in for a really boring review, is to maneuver through 4 stages of various platforms, bouncing off the heads of foes, dodging projectiles, rolling barrels at them like you're Donkey Kong, occasionally grabbing a golden mallet and becoming invincible, and getting choked out by some jobber with a rope here. Your weapon systems are that signature pipe, which Goemon would go on to use for the rest of his career, and whatever random peaches, masks, cats, or flowers he happens to pick up along his travels. Each of the stages is broken in half because our hero would have a nick fit if he couldn't stop for a smoke in the middle. At the end of each stage is a boss whose only goal in life is to wreck your and they're usually alarmingly effective at doing that. Your only recourse is to chuck things at them and hope your munitions don't get blocked, or just run like the wind and make it to the exit before you die a painful death. Over the course of the stage, the moon travels from left to right across the top of the screen, acting as a sort of timer. You've got to clear the area before sunup, or else face ridicule from all the other thieves. One of my only issues with the game is some slowdown that can creep in when you've got 4 ninja all jumping around the place and they're throwing everything they've got at you and you're just trying to get out of that situation alive. Fortunately, if things get too chaotic, you've got that handy little XBLA Game Room rewind button to let you figure out the proper way to extricate yourself from the hairy situation. That said, this is an arcade game, and they never would have been able to survive if the game was, easy. Tough as nails means more quarters. The soundtrack is, rehashes of old traditional Japanese music, and it's heavy on the traditional, none of the neo-pentatonic stuff you get from later entries in the series. As with the other Xbox Live Arcade Game Room titles, this is a direct port of the original arcade hardware, so it's possible to tone down the difficulty by setting the dip switches to give more lives at startup, bonus lives faster, or just cooling the enemy AI's jets. That said, your reward for completing all 4 stages is another run through the game at a higher difficulty. So, it's all academic in the end. Now get off my lawn!